battle starts.
Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Ship Views with me, Carburetor. Today I'm going to be giving you my 5 tips and tricks for working this event to your benefit. This isn't going to be a guide on container opening or anything like that. You guys are going to open the containers you guys are going to open. If you guys want to invest money into this game, I am not against it. I view this as my hobby. I've made some tremendous friends on here. I have friends that, you know, going back over 5 or 6 years now. I've never even met them in real life, but I would consider them loyal friends. This game has its great pros, and like any hobby, it costs money. You know, before anybody says, "Oh, well, you know, it's just pixels on a computer," you know, you're never going to be able to get your money out of that. I guarantee you, if you go and buy one of those RC cars, one of the ones that does 80 miles an hour, one of the Armas I'm blanking on the other names, but the big ones, the mega ones. If you try and resell those, you're never going to get your money back out of them. The model trains, you're never going to get your money back out of them. Hot Wheels, I actually know people who collect Hot Wheels. I do myself. You're never going to get your money back out of that hobby. There are so many hobbies you're never going to get your money back out of. This is just another hobby. But that doesn't mean you can't make the event work for you. This is the Santa Snowflake top 5 tips for this event. Anyway, let's get cracking into it. I have a list here. I'm going to try not to ramble. This is actually the second take I've done with this. The first take, I rambled way too much. So I'm going to try and cut to the chase this time. But anyway, starting out with number 5, I'm going to say join a clan. If you do nothing else during this, join a clan. There are so many rewards, so many resources that you're going to get during this event that not joining a clan is kind of, I don't want to insult anybody who's going to say I'm never joining a clan, but it's definitely foolish in my opinion, because if you go into a clan tab, any developed clan is going to have their port built up. With your port built up, you get plus 10% to your coal reserves that you earn. If you're going to earn 10,000 coal in this event, you're going to get 11,000 coal just by being in a clan. Same with steel. If we come over here with steel plus 10%, if you get 5,000 steel, you're going to get 5,500 just by being in a clan. Even research points. Trying to remember where the research is. The one with the research icon. The plus 5%. If you earn 1,000 research points throughout this, you're going to get 1,050. That doesn't sound like much, only 50. But you know what? You watch your nickels and your dimes and your dollars take care of themselves. On top of that, you get minus 15% to the cost of servicing your ship. You get plus 5% XP per battle. You get plus 50% free XP. The rewards go on, plus 15% commander XP. There's no reason not to join a clan. By the way, TSOF is recruiting. We have clans for every single level of player. We have a T5, T4, T3, T2, T1. Each clan being more competitive. If you're only going to be here for a little while, if you're only thinking about just maybe I'll hop on, maybe I'll check it out, feel free to Google us. You can find our application online and join us. I don't have the link, unfortunately, but we'd love to have you. I know we would. Anyway, trying to wrap this up right quick, moving on to number 4, and that is grind out as many ships as you can during this event. If you're a casual player, if you're not rather hardcore like I am, you're probably going to have a lot of lines that you've kind of started but kind of fizzled out on. I know I did at one point. When I was grinding the Minotaur line, I came to a grinding halt at the Neptune. I could not stand the Neptune. I still can't. I can't make that ship work for me. But during one of these events, I pushed through it. I think I even dropped a little bit of free XP and got up to the Minotaur. If you guys are going to push through any event, or push through any grinding at any time, this is the time to do it. Because let's say that you're on the Queen Elizabeth, the tier 6 British battleship, and you're able to bump it up to King George. You can get the Queen Elizabeth's rewards for playing her, and then you can get the King George's reward for getting there. That's 750 coal plus 800 coal. That's, no, 700 coal plus 750 coal. No, I was right the first time. Ignore me. I was second guessing myself. It's just another way to collect resources. We're going to touch on this a little bit more later on, but if you've been putting off the grind, now's the time to grind. If you've been waiting for a time when you're going to use your free XP, this is the time to use your free XP and get as many ships as you can in your port, get as many rewards as you can, and then you can get even more resources. Speaking of resources, moving on to tip number 3, and that is going to be spend your resources wisely. Now, I'm going to sum it up in here right now, but pretty much don't waste coal, don't waste steel, don't waste research bureau points. Now, I'm going to dive deeper into this, but I'm just going to sum that up. If you're going to burn that coupon for 20% off or 25% off coal and steel ships, use it on the steel ships. Don't use it on the coal ships. If you're going to buy any coal ships at this time of year, buy the cheapest coal ships first. I'm going to dive deeper into this. And lastly, if you do have any research bureau points, if you've gotten any of them, use them on the ships. Don't use them on the upgrades, because if you get the ships, guess what? You get the rewards from the ships. You can always come back and you can always grind out the upgrades. I would recommend highly, highly, highly get the ships first and then get the upgrades. Okay, now I'm going to dive deeper into this topic. I wanted to get the 3 big parts of it out of the way. But first, starting off with steel. You can actually come in here and even some of the cheapest steel ships, the Vallejo, 22,000 steel. As we know, steel and coal has a 10-to-1 convert ratio. So realistically, even the cheapest steel ship, the Vallejo, which is not a good ship and not indicative of the steel ship lineup, if you go into the coal ships, it is still more expensive than most of the coal ships. You can go through here and see that it is pretty much more expensive than anything above the Flint. The Jaeger, the Palmer, and everything here is more expensive, but there's an asterisk. I don't know if any of you guys have watched one of my previous videos where I found out the real cost of steel, how much it's actually worth. And I believe I have it up here. We actually found, going through doing a bunch of calculations, we found that it is roughly equal to 12.36 coal. So even at the 22,000 threshold, if we take 22,000 times 12.36, you can see it's actually worth 271,920 coal. And that is the cheapest steel ship. It is still more valuable than every single one of these ships. Stopping at the New Sashimi and the Black, those are the only 2 that are more expensive, but even then, that was just the cheapest. If we go up to the most expensive, the FDR with 33,000, you can see that the FDR is actually worth approximately 407,880 coal. Coal is just not worth as much. Now, I know that you might be thinking, but wait a minute, Carburetor, there's this 1 to 10 convert ratio. Where are you getting these numbers from? I highly recommend you go and watch my video, and it'll explain everything in detail. It should be in my playlist under SHIPVIEWS. But anyway, if you're going to drop that coupon, if you're going to burn up your minus 25% coupon for steel ships and steel and coal ships, use it on the steel. Even if you don't have the steel right now, use it on the steel ships. Don't use it on the coal. You're going to be getting steel in this event. You're going to be getting coal in this event. Coal is much easier to get than steel. Don't burn your coal, or don't burn your steel, burn your coal. All right. That being said, also, you are probably foaming at your mouth over some of these ships. You're probably thinking, man, I've been craving after getting. I'm just going to pick the one that I know everybody wants. I've been craving the Kurfürst. I need the Kurfürst. You know, the Kurfürst is so much fun. I'm just going to say this. Don't buy the Kurfürst in the armory. So as you're playing this game, if you get to the point where I am, where I have a port full of ships, you're going to find that after a while, coal pretty much just isn't worth anything. I have 294,000 coal in my armory and nothing to spend it on. I typically end up burning it on containers and commanders. That's pretty much it. I really don't use it for anything. Coal will come to you in time, and you can definitely buy it in time. But during this event, if you're farming out ships in containers, I would recommend getting the cheaper ones first. So the way that they divvy it up, you have tier 5 to 7 ships, or 5 to 8 ships. 5 to 7 ships. No, sorry, I'm tripping over myself. You have tier 5 to 8 ships, you have 9 and 10 ships, and then you have unique rare ships. That's how it's divvied up in the Santa's gift container. Basically, the way that it works is, imagine a 100-sided die. If you have a 100-sided die, I'm trying to get to the drop rates here, 16 of those 100 sides say that you get a ship, and that is baked in. That's never going to go away. After it's said you get a ship, it then rolls a second die. This die is a 16-sided die. That 16-sided die, 12 sides, 3/4 of them say that you have a 5 to 8 ship. The remaining 3 out of the 16, another I guess that'd be 3/16 of the sides have an 8 to 9 ship, and then one side out of that 16 says you get a 10 or rare ship. So more than likely, you're going to end up getting a 5 to 8 ship. If you're farming out these ships, what ship would you rather get when you roll the die? Now, here's the thing. It's already determined you're going to get a 5 to 8 ship. Would you rather get a ship worth, let's go ahead and just do this. Would you rather get a ship worth 38,000 coal, or would you rather get a ship worth 85,000 coal or 135,000 coal? You're going to want to buy the cheap ships first because it takes them out of the lineup. You can no longer earn these in the container. Plus, if it gives you a ship that you can't buy in the armory for coal, you can only buy it for doubloons, for instance, you're now basically farming doubloons out of the game. Because once you have that ship, you can't roll it again, like I just said. So it is best to buy the cheapest ships first. That way, when you roll the die, when the die says you get a ship, you get better ships. I made this mistake when I first started out. When I decided I was going to farm out, I don't remember how much I threw at this game. I probably threw over $1,000 at this game. I really wanted to get those really good ships, and when I got the coal, guess what I did? I bought some of the more expensive ships. I remember buying, I don't remember what was in the armor at the time, but I know I bought the Napoli for coal. Why did I buy the Napoli for coal? I could have gotten it. I could have just gotten it in one of the containers. Instead, I wasted my money, I wasted my time, and I lost out on that ship. So that's something that I have to say. Lastly, with the Research Bureau, again, this is pretty simple. Get the ships, and then you can get the rewards from the ships. If you get one extra ship, if one of these festive certificates is what pushes you over and is able to get you the mega gift container, that in itself is worth it. On top of that, if you also consider during the anniversary event, each of these ships is a super container, and guess what? if you play this game for multiple years, you get multiple super containers. So you get multiple gift certificates out of it. It's the reward that keeps on giving. And these are ships. The only expense to getting the ship is playing the game. That's easy. That's nothing. You're already here to play the game. Just play the game, get these ships, and then guess what? You can get rewards off them. Even if you never play them, you still manage to get rewards off of this. Now, if you are looking for the ship to get in the Research Bureau, if you just want my quick take on it, the Ohio. Get the Ohio. This is the best Research Bureau ship out there. Anyway, I've rambled on enough about this. I'll need to move on. And that is tip number 2, and it actually has to do with the Research Bureau, and that's to research grind during this event. Now, I know a lot of people are short on resources in the game. They don't have the port slots, they don't have the commanders, they don't have the credits, they don't have the free XP to have a port full, and I do mean quite literally full of ships like I do. I realize that this is a luxury that I have from 10 years of playing this game, or at least dang near 10 years. So I'm going to recommend that if you're one of those players that has, a bunch of tier 10 ships, but you have nothing else, no tier 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 ships, what I would recommend you do is you go through and you research grind during this event. You go through, you hit the reset button, it bumps you back down. You can free XP up to tier 5 ships. It doesn't cost that much. It costs like 20,000 free XP. I realize that to some players that's a lot. To me, that doesn't mean that much, but I realize to some people that is. So if you have to play a couple of tier 2, 3, 4 ships, get up here, I'll understand it. But you can get up to the tier 5 ships, and then you can claim all the rewards from the tier 5 ships. After you get your tier 5 ships, you can move up to tier 6, tier 7, tier 8. Let's say that you peter out at tier 8 or tier 9. You don't have enough time to grind all the way up. Guess what? Throughout the year, you continue grinding, you continue playing these ships. By the time you get back to the anniversary event, you're already back up to tier 10. Plus, you've got 70,000 research points all of a sudden. Think about it. Each of these resets is about 10,000. It's not quite. It's actually a little under. But this, if I were to research the Yamato line, I'd get 10,200. Plus, I'd get another probably 8,000 from researching the Bungo, Edatara, and Yumahari at the same time. Then I can get another 10,200 from the Zao line, another 10,200 from the Yodo line, another 10,200 from the Shimakaze line, another 10,200 from the Harigoma line, and then 8,000 from the Haikurio line. If you only have the Yamato, the Bungo, the Zao, the Yodo, the Shima, the Harigoma, and the Haikurio, but you don't have any of these lower tier ships, you can go through, research these all out, bump yourself back down to tier 5, grind your way back up, get those research bureau points, and you're talking about 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70,000 research points. That's enough for a ship. And then if you throw in the clan bump of 10, if you throw in 70,000 times 1.05, you get 73,500 research points. That is not inconsequential. That is really good. Plus, if you have that double up event where you have the 2x multiplier for these research bureau points, you can even claim some of those right off the bat. That is nothing to be ashamed of. That is a really good way that if you're low on port slots, low on commanders, low on credits, you can bump those back down. You're getting more resources. You're getting the coal. You're getting the steel. You're getting commander XP. You're getting credits. There's nothing to say against that. And you might say, well, wait a minute, I'm in the middle of a grind. Guess what? You can always jump back and forth. If you don't finish this out in this event, yes, you'll be leaving resources on the table, but you still manage to get some extra resources. Anyway, moving on to the last tip, and that's tip number 1, get the Santa's Mega Gift Containers. Don't waste your time with the regular gift containers. The reason the regular gift containers are here are for 2 reasons. First off, they're here to try, and if you only have, I only have 3 left, 3 of these gift certificates left. That's not enough to get the mega gift containers. It's enough to get the Santa's gift containers. So if I have any excess left over, I can use them to just buy the Santa's gift containers. I would rather get the Santa's gift containers than the 375,000 credits. Now, if you're at the point right now where you need credits, I'm not saying don't get this. You can definitely feel free to get the 375,000 credits. That is not inconsequential, but I would recommend getting the Santa's gift containers over the credits. The second reason they're in here, because they're a cheap gift for Wargaming to give you for free. They're not worth anything. It's the cheapest way for Wargaming to say, hey, we're giving you something without giving you something. If you look at the drop rates, you look at the Santa's gift containers, you get a 16% chance of getting a ship out of here compared to 2.5% chance for the regular gift containers. Now, in 100 of these certificates, you're going to get 20 containers out of this. 20 containers in a perfect world should give you 2 ships minimum. I realize this is not a perfect world. I understand they have the pity mechanic in here. The pity mechanic on these is 15 containers. It's 100 on the other ones. So even if you're activating the pity mechanic, you're plus 5 ships into the pity mechanic on this one for the same amount of certificates as the other one. On top of that, or compared to the regular one, on top of that, the rewards are just better. 180 days of premium time. I think the other ones are only 30. You get better expendable expendable bonuses you get red instead of the blue for this. You get blue instead of the green for this. You get 2,500 doubloons instead of 500 doubloons. You get 12,500 coal compared to, I forget what the other one is. I think it's 2,000 or 3,000 coal. You have access to get the golden gift container. I realize the golden gift container is probably not for anyone. I think it's kind of a scam. It's a gift inside of a gift. I think it's ridiculous, but it is what it is. You can get more Elite Commander XP, which is perfect for grinding up your commanders. You can get credits, also more credits than if you get the other ones. It is just worth getting the mega gift containers over the regular gift containers. Now, you're going to do what you're going to do. If you're one of those players where you're just like, but Carb, I only have like 20 bucks to throw at this game. I can't afford to waste a lot of money on these containers. Even for 20 bucks, it's still worth it. You come up here to the mega gift containers for $1 or for $5 each. I can get 4 of these, or I can get 20 of the regular gift containers. I would recommend getting 4 of the mega gift containers to 20 of the other ones. I would do that in a heartbeat. I'd say it's definitely worth that. Now, everybody has to make their own calculations. Everybody has to do this for themselves. I'm only looking at it from my point of view. I have a singular point of view from this aspect. You can do whatever you want to do, and I'm going to back it, because as long as you're playing this game, as long as you're having fun, that's the real point of this game. I'm just trying to give you a little bit of wisdom from my experience, from my almost 10 years playing this game, and what I see in it. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was a little bit different. I haven't done a five tips and tricks or top 5 countdown before. I typically leave them to Sea Lord Mountbatten, who I'm a huge fan of, obviously, since I'm in the T-Soft clan. I leave that to Potato Quality, as those two just do a better job than I could. But if you want to hear more of my opinions, more of my hot takes, more of my top 5 countdowns, feel free to reach out to me. Leave it in the comments. I would love to hear it. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. Take care, stay safe, and I hope to see you all next time. Bye!